Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? You guys doing good out there? YouTube land? I'm getting over a little bit of sickness. I've been kind of sick. Yeah, I caught the you-know-what. Can't you see? I got one of them. Oh, there. Oh, wait. Now I'm feeling better. Oh, feel much better. I was sick there for just like a few seconds. I had one of those fucking spiky balls stuck in my nose, but now that it's out, I feel much better. Feel so much better. God damn it. I'm sick again. I'm sick again. That sucks. I hate when this happens. There. Now I'm better. Now I feel much better. But I still need to go to the hospital and have them shove a big swab up my nose so that they can give me an inaccurate result, just to make sure that I don't have any more spiky balls inside my. I better go to the hospital and make sure that I have no more spiky balls inside my nose. And the only way to do that is to take an inaccurate test, of course. I mean, the only way to know if you've got spiky balls all up in your asshole is to take a swab, shove it up your asshole, swab it all around. Then the doctor pulls it out. They lick it, and they're like, yep, you're positive. That's how it works. How is everybody doing out there in lovely YouTube land? I haven't done a stream over here on the A-Hole channel in quite a while. Mainly because this channel is heavily censored, heavily shadow banned. I can barely get away with doing anything over here. So we're going to be using a lot of code lingo today, such as the C word, boogeyman disease, jabberooski. You know, got to stay one step ahead of the Al Gore rhythms, because you know how Al Gore likes his rhythms. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with a ceremonial tokishi of the bolskishi, which you guys know what that is, of course. You're going to want to go ahead and inoculate your bowls. Just inoculate them. There we go. There we go. Got to inoculate my green. Make sure that it's safe. I'm going to inoculate my weed. Make sure it's safe. There. Now it's good. My weed has been jabbed. It's fully jabbed weed. I just gave my weed its booster shot. I gave it the first 2 doses yesterday, but then I was afraid that if I smoked it, maybe I might still get sick because it might get contaminated. So my weed just got its booster shot. All right. If you guys aren't smoking triple jabbed weed, then you might have a less than 1% chance of kicking the bucket. So, better jab your weed. All right. And I want to see 30 thumbs up. And we're going to go ahead and get this stream started. And I got a lot of good topics today. All right. Including, we're going to go ahead and discuss the altercation that I got in the other day. I'm sure you guys watched that. Almost got into a fight. Some Mexican chump stain. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about my loss of faith in humanity. Do we live in hell? Do we live in a video game? And I'm thinking about possibly getting a boat fleet together and getting the hell out of here. Maybe going to explore the North Pole, South Pole. Who knows? Maybe there is no such thing as a pole. So all these great, wonderful subjects, and away we go. If you got it, load it. If you don't smoke, just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. All right. So, first things first, I was supposed to sing a show today, but they called and told me that they no longer can let me in the building because I am a healthy, unjabbed human. They can't let me in the building where all the old people are because all the old people have been jabbed. All of the employees have been jabbed. So being as I'm a freelance entertainer who is unjabbed, they can no longer let me sing for the elderly. So I lost a gig, and it's not just any gig. It's a twice in a month gig. So it's 2 shows every month gone. They told me, hey, if things changed and you take the jab, you're welcome to come back. And I said, well, that's not going to happen. So it would have to change on your end. And I don't see that happening. So I have lost a number of singing gigs, basically all of them. I have maybe 2 facilities left that will allow me to show up and sing without questioning whether or not I've been jabbed. So my profession as far as being a professional singer has been decimated. It's basically a glorified hobby at this point. It's not something I can really put down as a line of work anymore, or not something I can really even rely on as far as financially. I can't rely on these gigs that can be canceled at any. You have to take the jab. You have to take it to save your job. Well, I personally haven't taken it, and it's costing me job. Learned and created myself. So a job that I created with my talent, all right, something that not only makes me feel good, but it makes the people who I perform for feel good. So this is all coming to an end, taken away from me because of this boogeyman disease, which does not exist, and all the protocol that people are going through to keep everyone safe from this boogeyman disease, which does not exist. So to have my singing job, where I sing for the elderly, taken away from me by pure evil, not that great. So I do apologize. I'm going to have to look into leaving California. I just don't know where to go. I'm quite confused on where to go and what to do. Chris P. with a donation says, towards your unjabbed loss of income. It's only going to get harder for all of us who refuse, but so be it. Yeah, it's tough because I thought maybe since I'm surrounding myself with all of this bad news and negativity that I look into it. I look what's going on in Australia. I look what's going on around the world, that I thought maybe I'm causing all of this bad stuff to happen because I'm looking into it, because I'm thinking about it, I'm manifesting it. It's hard to think that I have that much control over the world, over the universe, that I can manifest all this evil shit even without wanting to. And so I thought it would behoove me to take a vacation, get away, turn it off, and just try and take it easy. Like not watch any videos on BitChute and Odyssey, not watch anything about what's going on in Australia, what's going on in France and Germany with the lockdowns and the checkpoints. It would behoove me, it would be helpful if I took a vacation, went to the beach, took it easy, and just made sure not to look into any of this stuff. And within 1 or 2 days, I noticed that I just couldn't quite fully let it go. It was always in the back of my head. So I couldn't quite just kick back on the beach and drink a beer and smoke a bowl and let it all go. It was just constantly nagging in the back of my head. And so I couldn't stop myself from looking up and seeing what's going on, in Australia, and I see a video from Max Egan, the Crow House, and before I know it, I'm right back into the conspiracy world, and I just can't escape it. And no matter where I go, the people muzzled up and their attitudes, I can't escape it. And then on my way out of town, I spot a guy in a mailbox dancing. I decide I'm going to get out, try to get some footage for the channel, because I thought it would be funny to interview the guy dancing in the mailbox who wants to keep Governor Gavin Newsom in office because he loves Governor Gavin Newsom, who's a terrible governor, by the way, a terrible tyrant. And so if you guys saw the video, which I'm sure a lot of you did, I got ganged up on and almost attacked by several people. And it made me really lose faith in humanity. And this happened during my vacation. And so even when I try to take a vacation and get away from the negativity, not try to look stuff up on the internet, still it finds a way to get in my life anyway. The negativity, even when I'm not looking for it, even when I'm out, doing my own thing, walking the beach, I still see the people muzzled up. It still is everywhere I go in some form or another. There's nowhere I can go, it seems, where I'm able to escape this new reality and go back to the old reality. There's nowhere where I've been able to go or I can 100% just kick back and pretend it's not going on. So I tried to pretend, and I almost got in a fight, and the whole thing just made me lose all faith in humanity, which I had already lost most of my faith in humanity anyway. But this last altercation with this Mexican dude and his girlfriend and the guy dancing in the mailbox and just the whole attitude of everyone around me just really put this sour taste in my mouth, where now I'm almost like, fine, I hope all of you do take your jab. And if you get genocided, so be it. So it's hard to wish genocide on somebody. It's probably not a good thing. I do. It's hard not to wish bad upon these people. It's really hard to take the high road and say, wow, I hope they all wake up. I hope none of them take the jab and they all wake up, and that we can all join hands together, sing Kumbaya, and fight against the true evil. I hope nobody takes the jab. We can all come together, sing Kumbaya, black, white, yellow, brown, whatever color you are. We should all come together and fight the true evils. That sounds wonderful. It's easy to say, but when you are getting attacked by zombies surrounding you, all that shit goes out the window, and then a new side of me comes out that's like, fine, screw all you zombies. I hope every single one of you zombies gets genocided. I hope every single one of you, your friends and your family and your family's friends, family's friends, and everyone who you ever met in your goddamn life, god damn it, all of you goddamn get genocided. And people are like, whoa, Jake, relax. A lot of people in the comments were like, Jake, relax. You shouldn't wish that upon people. That's not a good thing. And true, it isn't. But there comes a day where you have to ask yourself, is this God's plan? Is this part of God's plan? And if it is, who are we to get in the way of God's plan? Maybe it's part of God's plan that the zombies get genocided. And of course, we're talking about a big zombie movie, all right? The big zombie movie is what we're talking about here. You know, the big movie that we're all in. So you have to ask yourself, if it's part of God's plan that these zombies be genocided, What difference does it make if I wish it upon them? I mean, if God is really in control, if your Lord and Savior is, let's say, I don't know, Jesus, and he wants these people gone, and it's part of his plan, and he's carrying out his plan and getting rid of these people right now through this process, who am I to step in the way? So if that's the case, which it may be, I don't know if it is or not. If this is all God's plan and he wants all this to happen, then he probably doesn't need me to get in the way and try to save a bunch of zombies who he has pegged for death. Now, some of you guys in the chat, you claim you personally know Jesus and you know everything about him, and so maybe you have all the answers for this situation. I don't know, but I don't claim to have the answers for this situation of how to go about waking up a zombie or whether to even try to wake up a zombie. Should you even try to wake up a zombie? Or is it not even worth it because they're going to be like, ugh, and just try and bite your face off? And you're like, ow, fucking zombie. I was trying to wake you up. Why did you just try and bite my face off? I was trying to wake you up. And then they're just like, ugh. And you're like, fine, be a zombie. Whatever. Hope you die, zombie. And then someone's like, hey, that's not nice, Jake. You shouldn't hope that the zombies die. It's like, well, he was like, and tried to bite my face off. So why not? Why not? Do you see what I'm getting at here, people? I don't think that the people, like you saw in the video, are capable of being woken. I don't think that they're capable of joining the good army to fight evil, like truly fight evil. And if that's what I think and feel, I can't change that. Unless I see a true act of rebellion from a massive group of people in this country, well, I'm going to be pretty skeptical of anyone doing anything to fight back. Because right now, I see Americans not really doing jack shit, a whole lot of talk. Then I see the tyrannical government takeover of Australia, tyrannical government takeover in several countries in Europe. It's coming here next, guys. Whether you think that we're armed or not, the arms aren't going to matter if there's a bunch of zombies behind the trigger. So, it's hard to have any faith in humanity or in fighting the good fight when it doesn't seem like there's enough of an arm to help you fight. So right now I look and I see how many people are doing what I'm doing or more. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of 1%. I'm not trying to put myself up on a giant pedestal, but I'm kind of doing a lot more than most everybody. And even this, what I'm doing, isn't going to stop the New World Order, but it's a start. So we at least need minimum more people doing what I'm doing at the very freaking least, and you don't even see that. In fact, you can visit your favorite so-called truthers channels, your favorite so-called flat earther channels, whatever, and you'll find most of them not doing much of anything. Some of them won't even say anything about it and haven't made any content about it. In fact, all them flat earth conference shills, basically every one of them, not doing jack shit, not even making content about it. They don't seem to give a flying fuck. So if you go back 3-4 years, when I outed these people and I told you who was the real deal, Now you can really see, since time has passed, who's here with you, smoking a bowl, talking about what's really going on, versus who was just a fucking conference shill pushing your broken pizza pie AE map. Huh? Remember when I done told you? Where's Mark Sargent? Is he talking about the C word right now? Is he doing everything he can to wake people up to the C word? Is he? No. Where's, I don't know, any of those chumps? Where are they? Where are all your favorite flat earth truthers now? Are they talking about the C word? Are they making content about what's going on in Australia and other places and warning you that it's happening and it's going to happen to you? I'm trying to put myself up on a pedestal, but I fucking told you a long time ago that I was the real deal, and I believe I've proved it again and 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 again, to where it's not about me proving it. It's the fact that if you're not talking about it, then that pretty much proves what you are. So that's what I want to say about all those other channels. If they ain't talking about this type of shit, then what are they really talking about? What are they really doing? Oh, well, let's talk about mud floods in Tartaria. You can't control none of that fucking shit. We need to talk about what we're going to fucking do to stop this. Let's talk about giant tree stumps. Giants. We need to be talking about this shit. No, Jake, let's talk about the map on the moon. We need to be talking about this fucking shit. This is what's going on. But no, everyone wants to go to fantasy camp land. Talk about the next Flat Earth conference. What good is it going to be? What difference does it make anymore? So next time you visit any of those channels, take a look at the content and what they've been talking about lately. I got 2 channels here on YouTube where I talk about this shit all the time in many different ways that I can bring it to you. And I also have the uncensored BitChute and Odyssey platforms where I'm putting out as hardcore content as you could possibly fucking find right now. So I just want to make it clear, anyone who's ever called me a shill, what's up now? And to all those shills who I call shills, go look at their channel and see what they're doing. Told you. Fucking told you. And every once in a while someone's like, no, Jake, they left YouTube. No, I went and checked. No, they didn't. All them Flat Earth Conference shills are not over on BitChute making hardcore content about the C word. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. One guy did. One guy left YouTube and went and talked about this stuff. Matt Powerland, Matt Boylan. Is he real? Is he a shill? I have no idea. Still to this day, don't know who in the fuck that guy is. He was an actor on MTV. But he also talked about the flat earth before. Every single person here in this chat or on YouTube that we know of, Matt Boylan went on stage a decade ago, over a decade ago, went on stage and did the first flat earth routine as far as like on video, on YouTube, talking about it openly. And after that, there were several other channels that sprung up. And then a few years after that, I showed up. And now when you look at the landscape, it's entirely different. But what difference does the shape of the earth make when the walls are closing in on you? When the walls are closing in on you and the death jab is at your door. Knock, 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 knock. Who's there? The death jab is at your door. So who's talking about it? Who's talking about the death jab coming to your door? Is Robbie Davidson going to do a death jab conference? Do we need to do a conference? Charge people money to tell them about this? This is a death jab conference. I see someone mentioned Dubé has done videos on it. Kind of. Mostly he's been getting you ready for death, telling you about what your death is going to be like. Here's what happens when you die. Here's what happens when you die. Here's what happens when you die. You know that guy called me a shill, and he pushes a vegan diet, and he lives over in Thailand, and I've never once seen him go out on the streets and try and wake people up in Thailand. Never once. Never once seen him sit there and have a live stream with his audience, talk to them like they're an actual person, a friend. Nope. He's always reading his script, reading his book, reading someone else's book, reading someone else's script. And when push comes to shove, he dressed up and imitated me, called me a shill. Well, he's the one still pushing you the broken AE map. He's the one pushing you a vegan diet. He's over there in Thailand, and you don't ever see him doing any sort of activism at all. At all. And just remember, Matt Powerland came before Eric Dubé. Matt Powerland came before all these people that we're talking about, whether you like it or not. And I don't know to this day whether the dude's a full-on paid shill or not. Because if you look at his Odyssey content, he went to Mexico and made a lot of hardcore videos that make me question maybe he is partially legit. Maybe he was paid at one time and now he's trying to run away for his life. I don't know. Now, look, I just look at who's doing what, who's saying what, who's showing some sort of emotion over this. And I just don't see that many people like myself. It's a very small fraction of people like myself who are showing genuine fucking emotion over this and are truly upset and disturbed and ready to throw down against the evil forces. And the only way I know how is with the talents that I have. I talk to the camera, I make people laugh, and I sing songs, play a bass. And so it's hard because I don't have the ability to personally go track down the bad guys and kill them. I can't personally go find them and kill them all for you on your behalf. So my talents, such as playing the bass, singing songs, is only gonna go so far. Much more needs to be done, and there's people who are scared shitless just to do as much as I'm doing. So when the Illuminati is taking over the earth, basically I use my talents and I fight like this. Hey, motherfuckers, you want to fight? I'm going to tell a joke about you. I'm going to sing a song about you. That'll teach you a lesson. I'm going to sing a song about you so hard. Ooh, I'm going to make it rhyme and make it catchy. Assholes. Like, that's all I got, you guys. I got my humor and I got my musical ability, my ability to relate the information to you. But it's going to take a whole lot more than that to defeat this evil. And I just don't see people stepping up and doing what needs to be done. And the whole thing fucking scares the shit out of me to the point where I'm ready to buy a boat and take my chances somewhere else. I don't even know where. Which brings me to my last thing, which I want to talk about. Not my last thing, but one thing I do want to talk about, boat fleet. I might want to get together with other people who want to start a fleet of boats and possibly leave or go check out the North Pole or the South Pole. Rather than buy one big boat, I think it would be cool if there were several boats, 10, 20, 30 boats. We had a fleet, Freedom Fleet, and then we were like, hey, we're a fleet of boats, and we're all sovereign citizens, whatever, on the ocean, and we're going to go exploring. We have every right to go explore, and you better not try and fucking stop us. Otherwise, we're going to prove to the whole world that you tried to. So if it's one boat, they can say, oh, the one boat disappeared. But if it's 20, 30 boats all together in a fleet, they can't just blow every boat out of the water. I mean, they could, but at least then people would know that that's what happens. So I think rather than trying to have a boat, I'm thinking a team of boats is necessary. Now, have I ever put together a fleet of boats? No. Do I have any boating experience besides just being on a boat? No. Do I know jack shit about... I don't know jack shit. I don't know jack shit. But I have boat fleet here. So I have to think about escaping my home on a boat like a refugee and going to some place where I don't even know where, so that I don't end up getting force jabbed or thrown behind bars until I'm force jabbed. And a lot of people, when I've mentioned the boat thing, they're like, yes, I'm in. And so, of course, we can't just have everybody all pile on one boat. And you would have to have money. You would have to have supplies. You'd have to have know-how. You'd have to be somebody of importance. So how do we go about creating a new society or a fleet of boats? Our own Waco, Texas fortress, whatever. How do we go about doing something? Because I have this audience. There are other truthers out there. Armies and groups of people can come together. But to do what? What can we do? Is it a better idea to just try to split with a fleet of boats? Or is it a better idea to try and hold your ground and fight somehow by staying here? I don't know. And I didn't ever think that I would have to be a modern day Christopher Columbus. But boat fleet? Huh? What do you guys think? We don't know what the compass is pointing at. We don't really know what's at the North Pole. And then everyone's, no, not the North Pole, South Pole. Well, we don't know what's there either. And we don't even know as far as what the map, how the map works, really, for sure. We really don't know. Because if you're subscribed to that Circle AE map, then south is in every fucking direction. So what does south mean? You can't say, let's go to the South Pole if south is in every direction. So on the AE map, south is every single direction that's not the North Pole. That's another reason why I hate that stupid map. And then if you go with the square map, a square map, right, then it's like the sun would have to go whoop and start over again. And if you went to the north, would you just pop back out of the south? I don't know. So that's the thing. I just don't fucking know. If we tried to sail off with a fleet of boats, how the map's going to even fucking work. I don't know whether it's a better idea to go towards what the compass is pointing at. I don't know what we'd find when we get there. I don't know if anyone would even try to stop us. The oceans are big and wide and vast. It's not as easy as you might think to just try and stop somebody out there on the ocean, especially if there was a team of boats. So I'm just starting to write stuff down. This isn't like a plan that I have planned out by any means. I pretty much just wrote boat fleet. And that's about as much as I've thought about it. But the fact is, I'm thinking about it. And I do have enough money to buy myself a little sailboat. The problem is I just don't know how to fucking sail. And I just have to like spend a couple of years just learning just how to sail properly with a team of people. But then it comes down to who can you trust. And I don't want to get infiltrated by, infiltrators. And I feel like it would be damn near impossible to keep a big group from getting infiltrated by one or two sneaky boys in blue intelligence members. Oh, got a donation that I missed. 1 second. Awaken Pennsylvanian says, "You're right, Jake. So many sheep. I'm tired of this clown show. Many people will cave into the jab once their jobs enforce it. If God or Jesus doesn't come down, we are done." Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to need some supernatural help. Either that or it's part of God's plan that he wants a bunch of people genocided. If it's part of God's plan that he wants a bunch of people genocided, well, like I said, who are we to step in front of that plan? If that truly is his plan, to let evil forces give them the mark of the beast over and over again until they keel over, then who are we to try and stop that? If that's the way it's truly meant to be. And I only come to that conclusion, like I said, after losing all faith in humanity, after this last altercation I had on the streets, which a lot of you guys saw. So ever since then, it's kind of like, fine, to hell with all of them. So I'm completely confused on what to do. Just what. I know I need to leave California, but it's my home. It always has been my home. And it's hard to just up and leave, and you don't have an idea of where. And you know that the evil is coming to the other states too. It's not just going to stop here in California at the border. So just deciding where I want to go, whether I want to like dig in deep here in the hills, out near some small town in the United States and just try and wait it out, or whether I want to work towards this boat fleet thing, or get together with a group of people and maybe buy a piece of property and try to start our own little breakaway society. I have the thoughts. It's just pulling the trigger on something like this is not something I've ever done. And so I'm just going to be straight honest. All of it scares the shit out of me. It's all of it. Like, buy a piece of property with people I don't really know and try and start my own society. Like, God, there's so much that could go wrong. Go live on a boat with a bunch of people who I don't know that well and try and go exploring. Even more could go wrong. Sitting still and doing nothing. That's not going to work either. Timbo says, can Mexicans come? I don't have a problem with Mexican people. Just because I used a racial slur in the video when I was mad and about to fight a guy, that's when I'm mad and in the moment and stuff. Like, so no matter who I'm mad at, I'm going to make a derogatory comment about that person. And the thing about racial slurs and why I think they're good is because I think having free speech includes racial slurs, and racial jokes are funny to me. You know, I like all forms of humor, and I think free speech should include all the cuss words, all the racial slurs, any and every sound that you can make with your mouth, I think should be included under free speech. So if I get mad at, let's say, a white guy and he's got a Southern accent, I might call him inbred sister fucking hillbilly. That doesn't mean I hate my own white race. If I call someone an inbred sister fucking hillbilly, that doesn't mean like, I hate every white guy. So likewise, if I call a Mexican a racial slur, it doesn't mean I hate all Mexicans. Here's how I like to always say. Here's how I put it, and it makes perfect sense. If you met a really cool Asian guy and had a cool conversation with an Asian guy, you would be like, hey, I just had a cool conversation with an Asian guy. But if you had a confrontation with an Asian guy who was like, oh, you need to wear a muzzle right now. You need to muzzle right now. You might be like, oh, I had this confrontation with this stupid ching chong. You know, you might say something like, oh, this stupid ching chong tried to get me to wear a muzzle. That doesn't mean you think all Asian people are ching chongs. Get it? My logic is flawless. So when you're angry and in the moment and you want to be derogatory towards somebody, you only have what they look like to go on. And so rather than me being like, hey, you guy, I don't like you because you're a guy, I'm going to say something about whatever they are. Like if it's a big, huge bull dyke, I'm going to be like, listen here, you ugly ass, bull dyke ass, fucking... Whatever they are is what you're going to call them. So I like using any form of speech under the guise of free speech, including racial slurs. So if you like free speech, you should be happy that people like me are out there pushing the goalposts back so that we don't have our right to free speech taken from us. Because the more you silence somebody and say, don't say this word because it's not good, it's all censorship. Just because you don't like a word and it makes you feel a certain way doesn't mean we should censor words. So, yes, Mexicans are allowed on my boat if I buy a big boat. But you can't be stupid like that one Mexican who wanted to fight me. There'd have to be like an approval process. And see, so that's sort of thing, if I was to start a boat fleet, picking crew members, when I don't even have any boat sailing or captain experience. So what makes me qualified to fucking pick a crew? I don't even have any qualifications at all myself. I might be one of the worst crew members. You guys might not want me on your boat. You're like, Jake, you're not very good at fucking boat life and exploring at all. All you do is bitch and moan about when are we going to get there. Your only skill is making snarky jokes and playing bass. You suck at this boat thing. I'm going to be like, fuck, I know. I should have never did that. See, I'm worried about getting 6 months into the boat thing and then realizing that I suck at it. And then you guys are going to want to throw me overboard. Like, that comedian bass player guy is useless aboard the deck. We told him to squab the deck, and he was like, oh, fuck you, I'm the Jake the asshole. So we made him walk the plank. I'm trying to get as many boat jokes in as I can today. Dr. Scholl says 6 months, try 6 weeks. Rich Spillman says, I have some experience on boats. Some experience? Bro, you're in. You could be the co-captain. You could teach me what I'm doing wrong. I'll be like steering the boat, and you'll be like, dude, you're going to want to like steer it away from that iceberg ahead. And I'll be like, good thinking, bro. I'm glad I brought you along, Rich. You have some experience. And see, I'm partially kidding, and I'm partially fucking serious. I might need to actually start a boat fleet. It might be like my only way out of here. It might be your only way out of here. If I started getting a boat fleet together and it started to actually come together and there were people who were serious, you might find yourself going, holy fuck, he's doing it. Holy fuck, I want to go. You might find yourself just wanting to go. But it takes somebody to get the ball started, right? How come nobody has started planning the boat fleet? Do I have to do everything? You guys, does Jake the asshole have to do everything? Like, I have to be the one that starts the fucking boat fleet? I gotta be the one that, like, fucking handpicks the whole crew? I gotta do all this myself? And keep you guys entertained with making YouTube videos the whole way? Ugh. God, it's a never-ending job. Rich Spillman says, didn't Powerland want to go south? Yeah, see, that was the funny thing, was that he used to fucking use it like as this cool story that he would tell to get people to like him and to follow him. And there was something about the way that he would say, we need to take this boat, we're going to have an icebreaker, and we're going to have snowcats, and we're going to have these snowcats once we get to the ice wall, and we're going to have 3 teams. He said we're going to have 3 teams. We're going to have ball earthers, flat earthers, and then hollow earthers or concave earthers or who else ever wants to come. That way it's not just a team of flat earthers. We need the ball earthers with their team exploring side by side. So I remember when he used to tell this story to people, he would always get them wanting to be involved by saying, you can come along. You could be my co-captain. You can help me on the mission. So he would always, anyone who's listening to him, he would always want to invite you along to come on the boat with him to go on this voyage. And if you showed any interest at all, he would sell you on it that he is going to do this and that he's got this whole plan with these snowcat, like snowmobile things in 3 different teams. It's like 3 teams of this, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And people used to make fun of him a lot. Like, this guy's full of shit. He's just making this story up just to, like, fill people full of bullshit, get people's hopes up, fill people full of hopium. But now, when you look at it, he was the first one talking about making a plan to actually go explore and see what's going on. Now, the scenario is a little different now that they've got the needle coming for us. So now we're not just trying to explore the South Pole and see what's up down there. We might just need to fucking escape and get the hell out of here. Even if we go to a deserted island or somewhere and start our own colony, there's plenty of deserted islands out there that are on the map that we could theoretically get to if we brought enough supplies, possibly start our own little breakaway colony. I don't know. But we have to be looking at it more like we're like refugees escaping rather than just going exploring for fun. John M. Gannon with a donation says, hey, Jake, Martin Gannon says that the world is a pyramid. It could very well be. You know, if we live in some sort of weird computer simulation, some 3D video game, then shape doesn't really fucking matter. You know? We don't even know what the moon is or what the sun is or what the true map looks like. And that is what a smart person such as myself will tell you. If you say, Jake, what's the moon? I say, I don't know. If you say, Jake, what's the sun? I say, I don't know. If you say, Jake, what's the true shape of the earth? I say, I don't know. And that, in my opinion, is the true answer from an actual smart person. Whereas someone who pretends to know, oh yeah, the moon is a map of the earth, and we live inside of a crater. And don't you know that the sun is plasma and it's only 1,000 miles away? Anyone who acts like they know, they don't know. So really, the people I respect most are the ones who admit that they don't know. But you don't see a whole lot of truthers admitting that they don't know. Instead, you have all these guys like God Ladushkadu and fucking Viba Cosmos who are trying to sell people on these maps and models and things when they don't even really know for sure. And then everyone in the comments just likes to go along with it. Elite Mighty Vampire World with a donation. Hey, thanks very much. I appreciate that. Like I said, they decimated my singing gigs because I'm unjabbed. I was supposed to sing today. They called me up and said I'm no longer allowed in the building because I'm unjabbed. So I appreciate the donations. So, was Powerland, aka Matt Boylan, was he legit? I don't know. I don't know. His channel got terminated here on YouTube, but there's more to being legit than having your channel terminated. I'm legit. My channel hasn't been terminated. So, and then there's guys like Alex Jones who get censored. But what are you going to say? Oh, well, that means he's real. You can trust Alex Jones because he got censored. So I don't like to think just because someone gets censored that automatically means that they have credentials. You have to look at the actual work that is being censored. But just looking at all the videos that he had and the stuff that he did say before it happened, he did put out a lot of good work. And he did talk about the Earth being flat and the moon landings being a hoax long before any of the other flat Earth channels. And so the landscape today is vastly different. But I started making videos in 2016, January 2016. So it's been 5 years of me making videos. And if you look at the content of what I've been doing lately, what I've been talking about the last year, it's basically all about this. I mean, I made a few space videos just for fun because you guys still like when I make fun of the space videos and debunk the space videos. But at this point, what is the point of saying that space is fake? Like next time they do one of their rockets to space or say that they're going to take the public to space, I can make a video and debunk it, and it'll be entertaining. But we really need to be thinking about making some sort of big moves. And I would love to lead the way on a big move. The question is, what big move is there to make? And how do you make it without your big move being infiltrated? There was supposed to be a big move in Australia where truckers were supposed to blockade all the roads and stuff. But apparently it got infiltrated and it didn't quite go down the way they wanted to, which is exactly what I fucking said would happen. Because they talked about the trucker blockade for like a week, 2 weeks before they actually tried to do it. So of course it got infiltrated. And so I said that blocking off the roads is only going to cause the supermarkets to not get their shipments of food. And then they're just going to blame the blockade for keeping people from getting their food and making people starve, which is exactly what the Australian news did. They said that these truckers who did try and block the roads caused the supermarket shelves to become bare and that people are going to go hungry because of it. So basically, these protests can be infiltrated and turned against the people And they're pros at this shit. They are pros at infiltrating protests. Do you guys remember the first lockdown back March, not June, March of 2020, when they first did the lockdown? Going into April, there were protests that sprung up, anti-lockdown protests. And if you remember, people were coming together and all joining hands under the same cause. And that lasted about 1 or 2 weeks, and then George Floyd situation. Then suddenly the protest doesn't mean anti-lockdown protests. Then it means Black Lives Matter. See how they did that? They're pros. They took the protests against the lockdown. They had an event with George Floyd, and then suddenly the protests stopped on behalf of lockdowns and sprung up on for an entirely different reason with entirely different protesters. An entirely different group of people showed up to protest. You know, the people who showed up to protest George Floyd, not a single one of those people were there to protest the lockdowns. Interesting. The same people, you know, protesting against the lockdowns, we just all went home at that point because the word protest changed. So it took all the motivation out of we the people to gather and protest the lockdown because they took the word protest and fucking turned it into something else, a protest for this other thing. Man, they were good. How the hell are we supposed to stop that? How are we supposed to counteract that? These are pros we're up against. So that situation, of course, with George Floyd, the timing of it, while the lockdown protests were starting to go off in every major city, all those protests immediately stopped and changed into some other form of protest for some other reason over a guy and not over our freedoms. They're good, man. You gotta hand it to them. They're good. And how can you counteract that and step in front of that? Keep them from doing it? You can't, man. Ooh. And those people are gladly going to come back out and protest the next operation. The next operation of psychological intelligence that takes place. You know, those same people are going to come back out and protest whatever the government wants them to protest. They didn't like us coming together, black, white, brown, and all protesting for the same reason against the lockdown. It scared them enough to change what the word protest meant and all the participants in the protest. That's how you know that was actually working. Also, I noticed at the protests, people are just coming together and shouting. I think the protest people need to come armed. People need to come armed and show that they're armed. I mean, we have these amendments. So we should, at these protests, show that we are an armed nation, instead of just showing up and yelling and screaming in a government building. All right, so we'll go ahead and take a quick hit. See Foam Foot in the chat. She's begging to smoke a Bolski. So we'll go ahead and load up a hit, and then we'll go ahead and recap for anyone who joined us. Anyone who joined us late here, I'll go ahead and recap of what we've talked about so far. How many people watched my altercation with the libs, the libtard muffins? How many people saw my altercation with the folks in Santa Cruz? I know not all of you saw it. It was over on BitChute. There's about 2,500 views, maybe about 700 views over on Odyssey. So I know not all of you saw it. So it's over on BitChute and Odyssey. That's where you're going to want to see it. All right. All right, I want to see 160 thumbs up, and then we're going to hit this. Smash. If you're enjoying the stream and you want this to continue, please smash the thumbs. We're going to get after it. Oh, first I have to jab my weed. Make sure it's safe. There. Now it's safe. Oh, wait, that's only one dose. Gonna need a second. All right. Oh, now it's gonna need a booster. All right. There. Triple dosed. So you know it's safe. You know, one of the reasons why I won't take that jab or any jab is because I just don't know if they've done extensive research on how it affects the wiener. I mean, are we sure it's not going to affect the wiener? Because if it affects the wiener even slightly, I don't want it. So until I see extensive research that it doesn't affect the wiener, then I don't want it. Even if I did see it, I still don't want it. Whoop. Because you know what could happen? For life. Rusty, you want to jab the wiener? Rusty, you want to jab wiener? Come on. Here. Rusty. You jab wiener? Go. Come on. Rusty wants to eat a jabbed wiener. Jabbed wieners are good, huh, Rusty? Rusty likes jabbed wieners. He's a jabbed wiener eating dog. He loves eating jabbed wieners because they taste like chemicals. If I try to give him a non-jabbed wiener, he might get the boogeyman disease. So I jab all of the wieners so he can be boogeyman disease free. Everybody say, hey, ho, throw your paws in the air and wave them like I just don't care. Everybody say, hey, ho, say, what, titty in the butt, turn into a bitch and a big old slut. Mwah. All right. There you go. There's a palate cleanser. All right. Where was I? So, you guys will be seeing more of me because I'm losing work for being unjabbed. So because I'm unjabbed, I'm unable to sing for the elderly. So I had a facility call me today, say I can't come in the building because I'm not jabbed. She says, but if you just, if you ever go get it, then you can come back and sing. Nope. So to know I'm never going to step inside that building again, pretty much, it's not a good feeling. So between losing work, getting in that altercation, wondering if I need to start a boat fleet to get the hell out of here. It's just a very strange life, very strange time to be alive, and a very strange body to be stuck in. I don't know what the end goal was meant to be for me. It's like I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, is this it? Am I just supposed to sit here and talk about it? Or am I supposed to do something great, something greater than this, something greater than I've already done? What's the great thing? And so I don't know if the great thing is starting a boat fleet and going to the North Pole, finding out that it's Mount Meru or Hyperborea or whatever the hell it is. Or maybe it's nothing. Who knows? Maybe we get there and it's just like a spot in the ocean and we're like, oops, let's turn around and go back. So I don't know. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what's realistic. I don't know what's realistic and what's just fantasy. So it's like, is starting a boat fleet and trying to go to the North Pole just like a stupid fantasy? Or am I really going to like try and do it? This is weird, man. This is weird. And then the other options of just leaving California and going to another state here in the United States, I'm feeling more and more like I should exit California because shit's getting bad here. Tweakers target my van. They fucking cut my catalytic converter off my van. They fucking broke into my van last night and broke the steering fucking ignition switch on my van. Like they were trying to steal it, I guess, and couldn't do it. So my van's getting attacked in this neighborhood where I live. So it's like the writing's on the wall that I need to get the hell out of here. And it's hard to not know where to go or what the hell to do when it seems there's evil in every direction. I've got emails from people who invite me to come stay with them, and people all over the world. I've got emails and messages from people inviting me, to come stay in their guest room, or that I can park my van out front, or that I could stay on their property, this and that. And it's nice to hear stuff like that. But even then, I still don't know where I'd even want to go. It's just, I don't have even an inkling of a destination in mind right now. Everything's just so confusing. Like, okay, I need to move. Where am I going to move? Should I try and live inside like in an apartment, or like rent a room with someone, or should I get an RV? Should I just like fix up the van and stick with the van? And so just all these questions all hit me at once. A big crossroads, if you will. Okay. So that altercation and just what's going on, just every day seeing people muzzled up and just seeing the stupidity, the idiocracy unfold has caused me to lose damn near all faith in humanity, to the point where now I'm like wishing that people just go ahead and get jabbed as many times as possible so that we can get rid of them. I don't even know if the jabs get rid of people necessarily. We don't know how many people are getting placebos, how many people are getting this concoction, that concoction, or the other concoction. There may be several different concoctions being experimented upon the public right now. We don't know. So I have no faith right now in humanity, and there's a part of me that wishes people go ahead, get the jab, and dare I say, be genocided. But then there's another part of me that says, no, that's bad. I shouldn't think that. I shouldn't hope that or wish that upon people. But it's hard to take that high road and not wish anything bad upon anyone when these same people will want to lock you up and have you force jabbed. These same zombies are totally willing to vote in legislation that you don't get to go inside the grocery store unless you show proof that you've been jabbed. They're totally down with making sure your life's a living hell if you're unjabbed. And so it's hard to not wish something bad happened to these people when you know that they're definitely wishing bad things happen to us. Well, anyone who took the jab is wishing ill upon those of us who have not. So, got to return the favor. So you have to ask yourself, where do we live? What is this? Is this a 3D video game? Are there like entities playing us right now, betting on us behind the scenes, watching us all like a big giant Truman Show? Is this a big giant Truman Show where only a handful of us are Trumans and then the rest are like zombies? I don't know. It's kind of like a question that I would have considered batshit crazy like 10 years ago. And now it's like something I actually ponder. Or do we live in actual hell? I've heard a few people bring up the notion and propose that we do live in hell. And we're born into this hell, and that we don't know it's hell until you grow old enough and wise enough to figure out you're in hell. And the only way to escape is death. So then in that case, should you be in a rush to kill yourself? That doesn't sound right either. But who knows? Who knows if this is indeed hell and you are vastly rewarded upon your death? Wouldn't that suck if at 100 years old you find out you could have got to this awesome ending of death much sooner, and that you wouldn't have had to experience all this death and disease here on Earth and all this destruction? Huh. So wondering if we live in some version of hell. That's a weird thought. It's too heavy for some. Some can't go there. So I don't propose that I know one way or the other. I propose that I am confused. That is my proposal. I propose that I am a very confused man on YouTube right now. Are you guys as confused as me? You should be. If you are not, well, you don't know as much as you think you know. You should be as confused as me, or confused, dear. So, if it is just a video game, a glorified video game, and none of it really matters, then why not go out in a blazing ball of glory and start a boat fleet and go to fucking the North Pole? Like, why not? Like, what's stopping us? Why not start your own breakaway society right now and start arming and guarding yourself for the day when they come try and take what you got and you actually fight back? Like, what? Why not? You only live once in this flesh bag, I think. Unless it's like Groundhog Day and you're just going to come back and redo this. Fuck. I don't know. See, there we go again. But I figure maybe we're all meant to have this exciting moment where we do something amazing, such as assemble a boat fleet and go exploring, such as create a breakaway society, such as create an army and fucking fight back for real. Maybe that's what we're meant to do. It doesn't appear we're going to just get to like chill until we're 100 and die in a hospital with all our friends and family around us. We love you, Grandpa. We love you, Grandma. Right? It doesn't look like that's the way it's going to go down for all of us. So, maybe we're meant to do something amazing. But what is it? What amazing thing can us humans do? This small group even. What could this group of humans get together and do to make a fucking difference or a dent in what's going on? Be the change, be the catalyst, and show the rest of the world. Sovereign Dirt says the governments of the world will not allow you to break away without killing. Well, you can not break away, and seems they're going to be doing the killing anyway. So it seems the killing is going to happen whether you break away or you don't break away. So it's kind of like, do you want to go out like Braveheart? Or do you want to, I don't know, go out the opposite of Braveheart? You don't want to go out the opposite of Braveheart, man. Wake Up says, break away to where exactly? I don't know, bro. I've never broke away before, so I'm kind of confused on where to go to. There's always somebody who's like, come on over here to Tennessee. I got land and I got guns and a bunker. It's like, man, but we can only fit so many people down there before, and you can only hang out so many years in a bunker before that shit's gonna get old and suck ass, and you're just gonna wish you were dead anyway. So even if you got guns and supplies and a bunker and shit, it's like, man, how long can you spend in a cave or a bunker, cut off from the rest of the world, living on rations? just seems like a shitty thing, man. Unless you're a billionaire and you have like every single thing you could possibly imagine set up and ready to go, which billionaires have. None your businesses. I got lands in a bunker and you sure got a purty mouth, boy. Yeah, exactly. That scenario. Who hasn't seen that scenario play out? Tony's Coffee House says don't need billions to go to the Ozarks. No, you don't need billions. There's mountains and forests here in California where you can be completely secluded and not see another human for 100 miles in every direction. So there's plenty of places you can get secluded in several states. And you don't need to be a millionaire. But the thing is, how many people have a cabin built, ready to go, bunker ready to go, and years worth of supplies? And even then, like, not everybody's just able to live that life, a mountain man, isolated life, hunting and living off your rations. Some people would just rather be dead because that's so vastly different than anything they've ever known that it will cause them to go into a depression just because they can't make it. It'll just be shitty. For a lot of people, it's going to be shitty to try and go live off the land when they've never done it and don't have any skills. It's like I've said, I've went camping plenty of times, but I also love my electronic instruments. I'm my electronic bass guitar. It's like an electronic bass guitar isn't very fun when you're out in the Ozarks and don't have electricity and you're in a bunker. You know? So a lot of just the shit that I just naturally love will go away in a situation where if I'm out in the wilderness and isolated from people, I just don't know how happy I would be. And again, as I've stated, running away to the wilderness doesn't stop the New World Order from continuing with their plan. And they'll come get you out in the wilderness, find you eventually. You'll poke your head out, and they'll have a drone come shoot you. They'll have drones come fly around. We found an unjabbed person. Pew, 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 pew. You don't think they can fly around jab drones in the Ozarks, boy? So what sort of a life do you want to have running away from jab drones in the Ozarks? Just all becomes so damn dark and depressing in every direction. That's why I like the whole boat fleet and get the hell out of here plan. The plan where I don't know where we're going to go and don't have any clue how we're going to do it. That's the one I like best. It sounds so stupid, and yet it's so serious. Everything I'm talking about is so serious. And it sounds so stupid at the same time. Oh my God. Is this really happening to us, you guys? Every time I want to ask myself, like, maybe if I just, like, stop paying attention to it all, it'll all go away. Like I said, I tried to take a vacation. I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop making videos, stop talking about all this negative stuff, and just go have fun. Now, the negativity of the world will find me. Even if I'm in a good mood and busting with positivity, bursting at the seams with positivity, the negativity in the world right now is finding a way to override that and get to me. And it's pissing me off. Pissing me off to the point where now I'm hoping people get genocided. It's come to this. Let's see. Someone says they shared their remedy. Oh, it says click heels 3 times. Click my heels 3 times. There it is. It did it. I hope that remedied everything. What would I do without you guys? Seriously, at this point, you guys are like my support system. The only ones I can talk to about this stuff. Pretty much. Very few people out there that I can talk to about this stuff. That's why I'm grateful I started talking about all this shit years ago. Maybe not the C word, maybe not this exact scenario, but I started talking about conspiracies and government lies and bullshit years ago. And now, all these years later, here you guys are, my support system, whenever I need to rant about anything. And glad I have it, because it's this platform that's going to allow us to possibly start this boat fleet, or at the very least meet up even in small groups and talk to each other, because they're even trying to shut that down. They're trying to shut people's conversations down amongst other people. They don't want you talking alone outside of your phones and outside of your computer screens. They don't want you talking in any way, shape, or form where they aren't fully monitoring what you're talking about. Blah. So in Australia, they're actually telling people on the news, if you go out to the grocery store, don't talk to anyone. If you see your neighbor, don't have a conversation, because you don't want to spread the you-know-what. And I can see them totally going with the same approach here soon in the United States. You can expect it soon. They're going to tell us to stop talking to each other. They're already hinting at it. So something as simple as gathering with some neighbors and having a conversation is a threat to their operation. So, if that's a threat to their operation, maybe we should use this platform, and I should use my personality to gather some people to do something. So I know I need to gather up people to do something, and you guys are my people. So us fucking people, need to do something. And I don't know what. And if it's buffering and it's glitchy, I'm sorry. It's not the best Wi-Fi. When it comes to these streams, it's mostly about listening to what I have to say rather than what's on the screen, of course. All right. So I've been on here for an hour and a half. Pretty much talked about what I wanted to talk about for today. I should probably get off here and try to think about something else for the rest of the day if I can. All right. Yeah. I guess we're going to go ahead and call it. I've pretty much ran through my list of topics, and now I'm like drawing a blank. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll catch you next time. Please make sure you're subscribed to my backup channel, Jake Gibson, my BitChute channel, and my Odyssey channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.